let's get started with 1.7 here, trend lines.
I like trends.
A trend line is a line that goes through the middle of data points to give, and you notice there's not a period there, so we got more to write, to give an approximate or approximation of the data. Sometimes you will hear that called the line of best fit. I spelled best wrong. Of best fit. The line that best fits your data. Your data. So, when we look at this upper left graph here, it shows barometric pressure. It's height and pressure. There's some data points there. What would you say the trend is on this? Positive, negative, or neutral?
On that one, negative.
Negative?
Yeah.
So my line, if I was going to draw a line to try to best represent this, it would go down from left to right. So typically, your line of best fit, and everybody's going to be slightly different because we're not all exactly the same person. It's going to try to go through most of the middle of the data. So you're going to start up, whoop, that was neat. You're going to start up here and draw a line through there. You are not connecting the dots. Okay? If I connected the dots, it wouldn't be a line anymore. So a straight line that kind of goes through the middle of the data points as best you can. So if you look at this, I probably didn't do a great job here. I've got like this one's over above it, this one's above, and this one's above. These two are below. So I've got like 3 that are really above, 2 that are really below. Probably could have gone up a little bit with my line because the data points, there's maybe a couple more above than below. Why do we want this? Like, what's the point?
I have no idea.
So what if I said to you, what would you estimate the barometric pressure at 7,500 meters?
What?
7,500 meters. So right here, what would you estimate the barometric pressure at?
7,500 meters. Let's say 40.
I would go up to the line here, right? And then I would go over to the pressure.
38, 39.
So 38, 39, somewhere in there, right? That line of best fit helps you estimate. If that line wasn't there, where do you stop going up?
Nowhere.
Do you stop where this? Do you stop where this point is? Do you stop where this point is? Do you stop in the middle? Do you stop above? Do you stop below? Where do you stop? So this line of best fit gives us a concrete spot to stop to have our estimate. That's why we draw a line of best fit. Okay? So let's think about this one. The score and the hours of study.
Positive.
Okay, it's positive. Looks positive to me as well. If you were to draw a line here, somewhere in there maybe? Now your line might not be exactly the same as mine. But on mine I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 below, 2 that are kind of on it, and 4 above. So if I were to ask a question about this one and say, what if you studied for 8 hours? What would your score be?
Your score would be 110.
110, right? Now, notice this does not say percentage. If that said percentage, then you wouldn't want to be more than 100. But in this case, it doesn't say percentage. If it said percentage, you would stop at 100 here with everything. What about 4 hours of study?
4 hours of study, you would be at
73.
78. 76.
73, 76, 78. Somewhere between 70 and 80, right?
I guess.
So line of best helps line of best fit helps us estimate or answer some other questions.
I have a question.
Yes, Molly.
So if we have to draw one of these on our homework and we have to draw a line, and like it says like what's the hours of study for like 8, what if you put like your lines different than it?
So if you're going off your line, I'll give you credit for that. So same like on a test, I'm going to look at your line, and if Molly said that it was 8, but your line didn't show 8, then you would get it wrong.
Okay.
But if your line showed 8, and if your line, like on this one here, I wouldn't draw a line of best fit doing this, right? That doesn't work. And I wouldn't draw a line of best fit doing that, because that doesn't really work either, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to look at your line and say, does that line represent the data pretty close? Yeah, it does. If not, then I'm not going to give you points for that. And then I'm going to look at the next question that will say, based on your line, where does it meet up? Well, if you're using your line and you answer that correctly, then I'll probably actually give you points for that, even though your line was wrong.
Okay.
Okay? But goal 1 is get the line in the right spot. This one's pretty easy because the data is pretty packed close together. You're not going to be able to count dots above and below because there's a lot of dots there. So for this one, it's pretty. I made it thicker just so you could see. It's pretty obvious where that line's going to be on that one. Okay. And this last one.
Something like that's no trend.
What do you do?
No relationship.
Yeah, there's like no trend, no relationship. This one we can't draw a line. You might have some like that, okay, where you just can't draw a line. So this one you would just write no trend. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do we have to draw any
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a couple graphs. So, again, drawing the line to represent the trend. Positive trend goes up left to right. Negative trend goes down left to right. Sometimes they call it positive relationship, negative relationship. No relationship or neutral or no trend would be similar to this bottom right graph.